Hi, good afternoon. My name is Parth Prakash Kumar Patel, and today I'm going to present about the Hrmt 20029. And my topic is comparatively analysis of employment relation system. And this presentation investigate the role of the state agency in employment relation in the United Kingdom and Australia, and they will examination about the different regulation policy and intervention of the both country, and as object they have uh, they find out the some factors such as find out such some factors such as influence of the employment relations, and supporting the relations, and many more. And one significance, if we talk about the significance, the states play a significant role in employment relations, and they have a they coordinate with their employer and employees, and they eventually they set the market balance between the two employer and employees, and they also give the important lessons and helpful to their employments. If we talk about the structures, the UK and Australia will provide the overall relation systems, and as a comparative analysis examining of the key, they are examining the key policy of the employer and the regulations, and in interventions. More discuss about their implements on the findings, identify the potential area for the research, and offer and recommended based on their analysis. Next slides. The country selection. As their country selections, UK and Australia. Uh, the UK and Australia were the peak for their comparative study of the state, particular in the employment relations between their fundamental difference and historical associated, and industrial relation in UK as a birthplace of industrial evolution, has the long relation working experience, and their efforts to interact between the state worker and the trade union. And Australia grew a birthplace colony into independent nations and heavily influenced by the strongly Labour Party. The system evolutions there were the major shift in system of the wages relation for the both country for the period understand under the discussion, and they have a Australian ships, they have they are bargaining and individual contracts, they're connecting, and the connection, the similarities. The UK and Australia has both have the uh, preliminary democracy, and the next, with the similarity components not quite clear, and the system this keeping its interested, the comparatively analysis of become a necessary. Next, overview of the state role. The state parties of in the employment relations has the defining aspects such as government efforts to shape as well as the control the declarations of the employer and employees, and the range has been established such as formatting and implementing the law, policy, regulation, and and they have also shapes the labor market, protect the worker rights, and they promote the fair employment practice. There are some factor within the state rules. The first is labor law. They are also the they are enforce the labor law for such as which types of labor law use for such as cover both wages, working time, as well as their employ health, safety standard, and anti discriminant measures. Some regulations. The government does not act isolate in this field, but the rather oversee collective dispute resolution and employment benefits and workplace condition. Third is interventions. Government play their important roles for the labor market by addressing certain problems, and they are try to reduce the problems such as unemployment benefits, workflows and development, and job creation. So these are the key factors. Next is UK state role statement. As we know about that, the United Kingdom government play a vital role in shaping their employment relations through the labor laws, regulations, and interventions aiming to the balance employer employees and increase the fair practice and foster the support the work environment. Some labor laws and regulations. Some labor laws, the labor frame of the UK boards based on the capture or aspect of the employment and the nation, such as aspects like a minimum wages, working hour, health, and the safety, and safeguard work rights and promote equality. The regulations. UK law define the amongst other what's labor organizations is why to be to end conflict and work and wages, and all things are involved in the regulations. And there are some impact on worker and impact on employees. If we talk about impact on workers, the regulations and regards the labor help increase the opportunity for justify wages, which cover pay and healthness, a safe conditions, and effect dispute resolutions. Second, impact on employer. Uh, this can be identify the legal states and legal issue, and maintain the ethical practice between the employer and employees. Next is Australian state's role assignments. The Australian government play a pivotal role to shaping the employment's relation through the labor law, regulation, intervention, and aiming to ensure the fair labor practice, protect their worker rights, and establish balance for the better working environment. They try to give their labor to give the better working environment. There are labor law and regulations. Sweden has this sound collective collection of the labor law which protect the minimum wages, working condition, health and safety standard, and anti-discriminant measure, safeguard working rights, and promoting fairness. And some regulations collecting bargaining, dispute the revolution, employee benefits, and workplace standard aiming to maintain the harmony and uphold the social justice. And they have also some impact on worker and impact on employer. Labor laws and rules are the basic structure ensuring the fairness of wages, safe condition, and effective disputes resolution mechanism. Second, impact on employer. Yeah, employer needs to be by these regulations of the prevents legal problems, maintain health, environmental for the office, enhance productivity and the employer well-being. They are focused on all such a kind of things. Next, institute frameworks analysis. The institute frameworks of the country's employer relation constants of the finding the balance between two opposites needs. They could be structure and system of organizations, the control body and the other bodies that that will address the issue of the employer and employees in particular country. We talk about the United Kingdom, UK. They have a advisory consultations and arbitration service, ACAS. They manage the workflow, work manage the workplace conflict and uphold the application of the right practice. Second is the employment tribunals. They are the resolve the disputes and ensure the fair treatments and compliance with the labor law. And third one is the health and safety executive, HSE, oversee the workplace safety standard, and they are also ensuring a safe work environment. They are provided proper safe work environment to their labor. And if we talk about the Australian framework, they are the fair work commissions, and they are set the different types of rules and regulations. They set the wages. They oversee collective bargaining. The second is the ACTU, Australian Council of the Trade Union. They are represent worker interest and advocating for the fair working condition and wages. And third is the fair work ombudsmans. They are the enforce the labor law, investigate workplace issue, and educate the employer and employees on their rights. Next, we are talking about the institutional frame or analysis. Uh, Particular, we are deeply talk about their aims and their working conditions. First, UK. In UK, the Advisory Counselor and Abbreviation Service. ACAS is the central institute that's offer the expert guidance on the workplace dispute, promote the best employment practice, and they are also effort communicate between the employer and employees. And they are also focused on the conflict, provider trading on the employment relations, etc. The second thing is employment tribunals. Employment tribunals are justice bodies. They are resolve the disputes between the employer and employees, and they are also uphold the labor law compliance and address the unfair discriminations and other employment issue. And third is the health and safety executive. They are regulator agency. The response for the overseas workplace health and safety standard. Next, Australian Institute Framework Analysis. There are three bodies. The frameworks analysis. They are their works such as the framework commissions. The FWC Central Institute responds for the setting adjust minimum wages. They are also the collecting bargaining and administering the awards, and they are also oversize the overall problems, and it's play a crucial role to maintain the fair and balance between the employment relation. The second is the ACTU. The ACTU is peak body represent the workers interest in Australia, and it's advocate for the improve the work conditions, fair wages and workplace rights, and promote the collective bargaining. and they are also make some policy for their labor and their employer. Third is FWO. The FWO enforce the complaint with the workplace law, investigate complaints, and educate the employer and employees on their rights and responsibility. And they can teach their roles and responsibility on the workplace. Next, impact on the stakeholders evaluations. The government, uh, the state governments involvement in the employment relation affect the employer, employees, trade union, and regulatory bodies, and government policy and regulation shape the labor market dynamic and intermediate among their stakeholders. They are interconnect with each other, and with the help of their policy and regulations, they can control the control, and they can give the more benefit the labor. Some implications: workplace dynamic. Intervention of the state modified the state of the play at work by giving the rules and governance interact of the employer and employees. In this way, it affect their work environment, morals, and it would be also increase their productivity. uh, Negotiation process. Government policy shape the negotiation between the employer and employees, and it impacting collecting bargaining, dispute resolution, balance of the power in negotiations, etc. Third one is employment condition. The state affects the wages, working hours, benefits, and job security. Government intervention determine the work quality, job protection, and worker well-being impact, etc. Next is the impact of the Australian stakeholder evaluations. Uh, they have a Yeah, Australia have they set the legal frame of the employer practice, for such as wages, working hours, and safety and health. And they are also focused on hiring practice, labor cost, and compliance requirements. And there are some uh, there are also some impact on employees. Employees worker are sensitive to government decision on their collective rights, job security, and privilege to get holiday allowance and compulsory saving scheme. Third is impact on trade union. The state regulates the collective bargaining process of the worker and their action, as well as the position within the union, and the impact on the regulatory bodies. Regulatory bodies such as health and safety executive and employer tribunals together with the other make sure the regulations are being enforced, and it would be beneficial for their labor. Next is the Australian impact on stakeholder evaluations. First, impact on employer. The the set legal framework for the employment practice. They are establishment of the employer relation as well as the labor market activities, such as setting minimum wages and working condition, such etc. The policy of government have a different effect on the hiring practice, labor expenditure, and as well as require compliance. Second is the impact on employees. Uh, the worker gets experience to direct impact of the government rules concerning rights, job revolving, as well as the benefits offering of the paid and leave and superannuations, etc. And third is the impact on trade union. The given state is responsible for the regulation collective bargainings strict action, as well as employer and employees' rights representative. Impact on regulator bodies. The regulator bodies, such as the Fair Work Commissions and the Fair Work Ombudsmans, establish governor labor laws and determine the minimum wages, etc. They are interventions influence of the effective in upholding standard and protect the rights. Next, future trades and the recommendations. If we talk about the UK, UK has have a tendency to focus on more adapting more new technology process and such as a GIG, zero hour contract, etc. And it would be more emphasize on that the new technology, and it would be more beneficial for the labor. And if we talk about the Australia, the possible traits for the Australia may entail more emphasis on work-life balance and casual challenges. They are improve workplace and inclusive, and they are tackle their issue, etc. And some recommendation for the UK and Australia. The British governments to advise to apply the some aims and regulations for the workers, and the Australian governments are shall do leverage to lay low deal with the contract, and they should encourage to response reasonable salaries, as well as they are also balance the life good working environment. Next, the future trades and recommendations. Future trades. The UK capable to embracing the growth of the collective freeliness with the zero hours contract, while focus on being shifted towards the health work life balance, as well as the, enhancing the diversity of workplace and safeguard against uh, job security and the invest the skill of the future market demands. And some recommendations to strengthen the employer protect, the policymaker are supported to put the policy in place for a fair wages safety workplace, as well as access the benefit among the employees. They are also focused on the developed program for the future skill. They are foster the diversity and job security, and they are also reviewing the update the law and evaluating the needs. Next, for Australia, if we talk about the Australia future, hold a lot in the store, changing the new technology, work relation, environmental. They are also focus on diversity, work-life balance, job security. They are enforce the upskill workforce and evolving the demands. Here some recommendation. As a recommendation, Australian government must ensure access shield the rights of the workforce, and they are the make a policy for for them their labor wages and benefits. They are also addressing the stronger regulation for the stabilization. They investigate some changing markets. They are to well support to their employees for well-being, and they are also every time they update their regulatory. And here is my referencing, which are I collected data from that this referencing. Thank you so much.